everyone. Today I'm just doing a quick little video on how to install a UHF. Generic run through, so this should apply to whatever car that you have because the concepts remain the same, just locations of certain things might be different. I thought it'd be good to chuck in a quick video, so if you want to do your own, makes it easier. So I've already actually installed it all. I left it open so I could show you the inside. We used to get power to the actual UHF unit. So as you can see, I've already got my antenna, the town and country version. So it gives you both your 3 and your 6.5 range for the antenna. You can get whatever antenna you want. It doesn't have to be that one, it can be anyone, it can be the bonnet mounted ones, whatever. The diagram that shows you the difference between them. But essentially, like the 3 is designed to get over obstacles. It's sort of got a broader range over obstacle, over the hills and so forth, whereas your 6 gives you 6.5, gives you sort of long range distance when there isn't as many obstacles in your way. The aerial wire through the firewall into your actual cab region. For me, I have 2 places I can get access. You have 2 little grommets that the wiring goes into, and on my Triton I have one on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. So if you follow any sort of your wirings, you'll find that they'll go somewhere. There'll be this like plasticky in locations that aren't as big. It's a bit dark, so I've taken a few pictures so that I can bring out the detail of where it is. Then you basically puncture the rubber grommet, and you feed your aerial through it, and you just seal it up afterwards so that the water can't get through back the grommet that you've just done. And when you pierce it, make sure you don't get any out of the other wires cut or damaged in the process. Depending on where you want your UHF unit is depending on where you want to take the wiring. Because the aerial wire is so long, I decided to go through the driver's side because it was easily accessible straight to the top, whereas my passenger side I have to undo underneath the wheel arch, I have to undo something to get under there to get access to the grommet. So I've run the wire up the top along the cross until I've reached the passenger side where my fuse box sits. The Jaycar have like a piggybacking system, so you can just plug it into whichever, and I'll take a picture of mine where you see your different fuses match up to different items, like your cigarette lighter, your light, so forth. You can plug it into those and you just put in your fuses in that and use your power based on whichever power option you want to pick. The UHF will still function without having to put wire back through into the actual engine bay and attach it anywhere in here. You can attach it inside, which is much easier and much faster because you only really need to do that. And I'll take a couple of pictures of all those spots where I've attached things, and then I'll just do a quick voiceover of that as I go through it, so you know why I've done what I've done or where I put things, and point out some things in relation to the fuses, because everybody's car, you've got like the normal fuse, mini fuse, ultra mini fuse. So checking which fuse you have is very important, because that's the associated piggyback item you need to go purchase from Jaycar. And they're really cheap, they only cost you like $6, and you can get one of those, get a fuse that matches it, and away you go. It's pretty much got power, then you just need to earth it. It's pretty simple once you've got those concepts down. The basic concepts will remain the same regardless of the vehicle you have. You're always going to have to get through the grommet, and finding it is usually following the wires until you can see it, and they're pretty obvious once you notice them, what they are.
Alright everyone, just a couple of little disclaimers here. If you want to read number 1 through to 3, this is just in relation to using the appropriate fuse for your UHF unit, using the appropriate piggyback fuse as per your manual to where you want it to plug into, and lastly the earthing, if you want to earth it to your specific earth location for your vehicle. It's usually set points as per your manual. This is just a quick run through. I sped this up because we've pretty much added all these images in, or some of the images in while I was talking, and and this is just a speed level version of that. So this is just to show you how I run it through. So just simply through the engine bay into the actual area here, and then I just weave it around. You can zip tie all these down to set locations that you want it to keep it all neat and tidy. But this is just for demonstration purposes, just to show you how you feed it through. And that's a grommet that you've seen pictures of quickly before, and that's how I've threaded it through to gain access into the engine bay, which you've seen a picture of in earlier, where you can see it coming out underneath on the inside in the cab region. But that's fed through the wire grommet. Once you puncture it, it's kind of hard to puncture at first because it's quite a hard rubbery area. So this is looking at the internal aspect of it. So that's the that's a micro version of fuse. So that's why I say check which fuse you got first, then go out and purchase the appropriate piggyback system. That's the standard one. You can see the long prong, so that's a bit of a difference. So double check which one you need, and then go get the right one. Once you have the right one, then you get the appropriate fuses to go along with that. So that, for me, that was not the correct one. That's the long one. You can see the difference in the fuse sizes. So this is the one that works for mine, and as you can see, it's got 2 fuses in it. They are 2 15-amp fuses, but as I mentioned, this is just simply to test, to show that how the piggyback system works, and that you can power your unit using that. And you need the 2 fuses in there, one for the original device that where you're plugging it into goes. So for me, I'm plugging into the lamp for when you open your car doors, and yeah, that's my choice. And there's reasons around that, but that's, you can plug it into whichever device you want. And once you plug it in and you use 2 fuses, this is to demonstrate that the UHF unit works. So that's just to show you that that's how simple it is. You just need to power it in, attach the 2 wires, being the power and the aerial, and earth it to a set earth location. But for me, for this instance, I just earthed it close to that vicinity that connects to the chassis. That was simply for testing to make sure it all works, and to demonstrate just the Jaycar purpose of using UHF. And my fuse box is behind that glove box, so it's very easy for me to access. So a couple of pictures just in case the earlier ones were a bit too quick for you. That's those rubber grommets that I'm talking about, kind of easy to spot once you find them, but they are hard to pierce, and that's where my aerial wire goes through. And as I mentioned, you just want to seal it up afterwards. And then finally, that's the micro fuse. You can see the difference. Each fuses, the colors are different for the amperage. I am using 15 amps, as I've said already, and it's just because I had them available and I wanted to use to make sure it works. So you pick the fuse amperage that's correct, that you want to use for that's going to power your UHF unit, and you plug it into your specific fuse location that you think is going to handle the power that it needs, and that's how you do it accordingly. So you can see I've plugged it in. It's looking from down below where I've slotted it in, and then you can see from above where I've slotted in the 2 fuses that are placed in there, and that's how I get it to work. So it's pretty straightforward. It's just about picking which one you want to go into, and this is just to show you that I temporarily earthed it there, just to show that, just to get it working, to demo that it works. So you can choose to earth it back into the designated earth locations as per your manual. Here's your manual just showing the fuse locations. This is just to show you, this is how you assess which fuses go where and where you might want to tuck it into. It also says what the capacity is of each of those ones, so you can pick ones that are appropriate for your usage. So some are 15 amps, some are 7, some are 10, some are 20s. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple once you get the gist of it. The rest is up to you on how you use it. So I want to thank everybody, Brett and our Patreon supporters Blake, for making this video possible, and I hope this was helpful for you, and if you're looking at installing your own, that this might provide some assistance, specifically when we're looking at that piggybacking system. I found it really helpful and a much faster way to install. So if you liked it, please hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you feel free, and we'll catch you next time.